When should you automate? It's not about jumping on the latest trend or a gut feeling. It's an economic calculation, and it boils down to some pretty simple math. I'm going to walk you through how to use it, and then explain how modern AI is supercharging every parameter of this tool, making it even more useful. The cost of automating, the benefit of automating for one cycle, and the number of cycles. So in order for this to make sense, you have to have the same units. Normally it's easiest to just put everything in dollars. You can have your cost to implement a system of automation in dollars, and then have the benefits in dollars in terms of savings, or if it's in some other unit, time, whatever it is, translate that other unit into dollars so that you have a consistent unit basis to have an inequality. As you probably picked up on, this is a cost versus benefit. If your benefit outweighs your cost, then it's a good idea to automate. You could think of this main inequality as an expansion of the overall benefit. But because we're dealing with automation, I think it's a good idea to always keep in mind the number of cycles or the number of times that your automated system is going to perform its job. Because in most cases, the gains that you get from having an automated system are going to be smaller than just doing it once yourself. So that end term is always very important. This form of the expression does make it easier to communicate a related idea, though, if we look at the benefit minus the cost over the total cost. So that's how much you gained by automating your system as a percentage of the cost it took to automate. That is essentially your return on investment. We're not going to come back to that. I just wanted to point it out. This is the fundamental form, though, and is the foundation for everything I'm communicating in this video. In fact, I think that this is an inherent understanding of what automation does for us. Let's run the numbers on a simple example. Imagine you own a bakery. A machine that automates making cake sheets costs you $100. For every cake, the machine saves you $4. That's your benefit per cycle. You expect 50 orders that will use it. That's your number of cycles. So is C less than B times N? Is 100 less than 4 times 50? Yes, you automate. You may look at this and say it's too simplistic because it's not including the cost of maintaining an automated system or the cost of training employees to use an automated system or other overheads. And you would be right. A model works best the more of the real world it incorporates. However, nothing precludes you from including that information in this expression. And if you shy away from this inequality, then you are missing the forest for the trees. Because at the heart of every question of automation is a comparison of cost and benefits. Let's get completely clear on how to apply this in your decision making. You have a question of whether to automate. Ask yourself if the cost is less than the benefits. And if it is, you automate. Otherwise, do it manually, don't do it. The answer is no, don't automate. Now we'll look at how this tool is used in the age of AI. Again, this is an economic calculation, and the presence of commoditized intelligence has changed the parameters of the tool. The cost to produce an automated system is reduced because we have AI tools to make implementation easier, much more efficient. Our cost goes down. Our benefit per cycle goes up. Having greater capabilities in terms of what a computer can do, the kind of art that it can produce, the kind of language that it can speak. Think of talking to an automated customer service rep 10 years ago. They were dumb, which was frustrating and unproductive. But now that we have automated conversation agents, people are talking to LLMs for fun. It's recreational, it's enjoyment. And that means that every cycle of speaking with one of these agents has a higher benefit. Our number of cycles also goes up. In the automated customer service rep example that I just used, if people are getting enough value and satisfied with the automated system, then they are not going to bail and talk to a real person, which means that the number of times that automated assistant is being used is higher. An even stronger example of the end term increasing is with humanoid robots. A lot of people have an intuition that humanoids will be useful because they are human-shaped and will therefore operate well in a human-shaped world. But we know that the real power of this tool comes from taking these intuitions and gut feelings about what's going to be automated and clarify it with this mathematical tool. We'll start with a condensed form of just comparing cost and benefit. The expanded form of the benefits is your benefits per cycle and how many cycles you run. For humanoids, we're going to expand this further. We'll look at the benefit for each task that a humanoid robot can do. So for example, its first task would be transporting laundry to the washing machine. The second task is loading and running the washer and dryer. And the third task is folding the clean clothes. All of these tasks are associated with laundry, but of course it could do something different, like resetting a circuit breaker. So for humanoid robots, the total benefit of having one is the benefit of a task that it can do multiplied by the number of times it does that task, and you add up that value for every task that it can do. So that can be a lot to calculate, it's a lot to think about. But never forget that it all comes back to this fundamental formula of your cost of implementing a system being less than the benefit of having it automated multiplied by the number of times it's going to perform its action. And the thing to keep in mind when you evaluate where we are in the age of AI and try to forecast into the future is that this formula is being supercharged. I expect we'll see a lot more stuff get automated, and it shouldn't be a surprise. With this in mind, we can conceptualize why these things are happening. The big takeaway is this: an implementation effort that didn't make sense last year very well could today. So here's a challenge for you. Think of a manual, repetitive task in your business and run it through the automation formula. I think you might be surprised with the result. If you found this useful, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you're thinking of automating. See you next time.